Welcome to the live feed, the
Live,
live broadcast
in the
of
Lofgraben backyard.
Hayden's Backyard, the Backyard Brawl podcast,
Yeah.
where it all went down.
It actually was right over there on this court behind us,
Where
or
I
in
beat
front
the
of us.
shit out of Hayden.
That's what the fallacy would
Okay.
say.
Well, welcome to episode 15. This is the live broadcast. Hopefully, something that happens in the summer.
Yeah, in the summertime, we're definitely going to do this. Whether it's inside, outside, we'll probably take it to different places. Maybe do a live show at the Cherry Hill Mall. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's not happening.
No.
But who knows? But yeah, speaking of beating the shit out of each other, just a quick thing because we're not talking about them today, but the Sixers have beat the shit out of themselves. So that's the Sixers update for the week. The whole team's hurt. And no, Jared McCain wouldn't have solved their problems. So that's all.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about the Sixers.
So enough of the bullshit where you're like, oh, well, if we had McCain now, it wouldn't make a difference.
No.
He'd still be shooting 20 shots a game. He'd make 6 of them. And you guys would go crazy and shit your pants and say that he's the next star of this team, which is not true.
Yeah.
Okay. This is still Joel's team.
So we're going to start with the Eagles. Now, we kind of dropped the ball last week, not doing free agency crept up on me. I wasn't kind of aware that it started this soon. I mean, I guess in years past, I can remember the Saquon signing being right after the basketball season ended. But, free agency has started. The Eagles have signed nobody. They did extend Jordan Davis, which is a move that we collectively both
I liked it. I liked the move.
So I'm happy about that. But they haven't signed anybody, and all the free agents that they had on their roster have left or not signed. But so let's just kind of go over those real quick. So the big one, Jalen Phillips goes to Carolina, 4 years, $120 million. 80 of that is guaranteed. Good for him. The Eagles.
He's not worth $20 million in my opinion. I thought he played
30.
well when we got him. Only 2 sacks. Had a decent amount of pressures the entire year, but I mean, the defensive end market is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Some other guy got $100 million. I forget his name.
It might have been Boye Mafe.
Maybe,
or
but
Dafa away.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I mean, we were in a disagreement yesterday. He was gonna get 25 million.
I had thought that they were trying. Well, we both could have been right. I saw that the Eagles were trying to get him at like 17 to 20, which is probably what they wanted to give, but he got 30 because he got 4 over with 80 guaranteed. So, it's. I mean, he's a good player. He has his health concerns. He was healthy here. I mean, the defense improved after he got here all around. So, he's a good player. If at the right price, I totally would have had him back, but not at the price at what he finished at. I wouldn't have took him back.
No.
Nakobe Dean goes to the Raiders at about $12 million a year. Good for him. It was unlikely.
He declined the Dallas.
Yeah, which I love.
Too, which was great. I thought he was going over there because of Christian Parker, but we were wrong about that as well.
But he goes to the Raiders. The Raiders had a nice free agency. They also signed another linebacker. Maybe I don't think it was Devin Lloyd. I don't know who it was, but they signed another linebacker. But yeah, I mean, with Jahad Campbell waiting in the wings, he wasn't going to be back.
No.
And but he got a good deal. Good for him. He's a very, very good player. Reed Blankenship goes to the Texans. I think 3 years, $24 million. Again, maybe the Eagles could have paid that one, but I know you wanted him back. I wasn't super. If they had brought him back, and the deal was team friendly and people liked the deal, from the money side of it, I would have been fine with it. But if what he got paid was something the Eagles weren't willing to pay, him not being here is not stressing me out.
I'm just not too thrilled on the idea of having Makuba and potentially
another
rookie safety back there, because there's no second better option, because you have Sidney Brown, who should never see the field ever again, on special teams included. They're gonna draft a corner with their first pick, I feel like. Now who that is, I don't know.
I don't know, man. They could go edge. I mean, they were very involved in the offensive tackle with interviews at the combine. They interviewed basically all the top offensive tackles at the combine. I don't know where they'll go in the first with their first round pick. Maybe they. I've seen that they're actively We'll get into the AJ Brown kind of discussion as we do most weeks, but um, they've been. I saw they're possibly targeting Jonathan Grenard from the Vikings as a possible trade candidate. They might make a couple trades to add some players. But at the end of the day, with what has happened with the Eagles and free agency, the other one was Jahan Dotson goes to the Falcons. I don't even know the finances on that, but
It was a 2-year deal. I know that.
I think it might have been 2 years, 14 million. Good for him. I liked him, but
I thought he was going to be back.
He didn't do much here, but I liked him. But like when you look down the road and where the Eagles have to put money, Cooper DeJean needs an extension at some point. Quinyon Mitchell needs an extension at some point. It sounds like they're now that they didn't sign Phillips, a Jalen Carter extension is imminent and coming in the next few days. So they're paying money to their best players that are already here. Dallas Goedert hasn't signed anywhere, but still, I mean, he's not going to be back. But I am definitely interested to see where he goes. But I mean, they need to lock down the guys that they have here. And, we've seen Howie have success, working through the draft. They're going to need to draft some young guys that can be on lesser deals and come in and play.
Now, as far as the season goes, where are you at? I know it's very early. The start of the league New Year is tomorrow. So
yeah,
we've got a lot of time even till the draft and until
I think
the season actually starts. But me personally, I'm sort of at a crossroads because this happens every 2 years, it feels like, with this team where we're in a bad position in the offseason and we don't know what Howie Roseman's going to do. He's the best GM in football. So this could be a setup for a year from now. Maybe he knows deep down that this team is not, going to win the Super Bowl. They'll be in the playoffs. That's a gimme. Yeah. But restructuring contracts and free agency it's not typically going the way everybody thought it was going to be. And on top of this, you have the AJ Brown situation. But where are you at? Where do you think that this team's going to end up?
I think it's just a major unknown because if AJ Brown is back, despite losing Dallas Goedert, they're still going to be one of the top offenses.
Yeah,
you'd think in the NFL with a competent offensive system built around them. Defensively, this is the most holes that they've had in a couple years. We don't know who's going to be in the cornerback 2 position. We don't know who their other safety is going to be. We've seen Jahad Campbell have to play linebacker, but we haven't seen it for a full season. Right now, their edge rushers right now are Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, and Brandon Graham. So you got to add another body out there. So I think there's still some questions to be answered, but I still think that they're a team that should win minimum 10 games.
Yeah.
Minimum 10
I'm probably
games.
right there with
you. They do have a tough schedule, but 10 wins I think would be the minimum for them.
Yeah. I mean, let's step away from the Eagles for a second. Let's look at free agency around the board. You have Kenneth Walker signing with the Chiefs. You've got Travis Kelce returning.
Depending on when Mahomes comes back,
they're going to be good. Really good. They're going to be good again.
I mean, their defense.
The odds came out for the Super Bowl. I think they're 4th in odds to make the Super Bowl. We were like 8th or something like that.
Yeah, it was a big day for running backs. A lot of running backs switching teams. I know Kenneth Gainwell goes to Tampa Bay. Rico Dowdle goes to Pittsburgh. Kenneth Walker goes to the Chiefs. Alvin Kamara is unknown. Travis Etienne goes to the Saints. Yeah.
A lot of moves.
A lot of running backs on the move. Michael Pittman traded from Indianapolis
to the Steelers.
I like that move. Now,
which I thought he was going to be. Alec Pierce gets $30 million a year,
Alec Pierce was a ton of money to. He stayed, right?
Yeah. Well, now he's their wide receiver 1.
Yeah. Or some other big ones. Tyler Linderbaum gets a huge deal with Raiders, right?
No quarterback moves really, besides the Tua
to Atlanta. Malik Willis to the Dolphins, where Jeff Hafley is. That's an interesting one. I think Malik Willis can be a nice player if you build the right system around him. But that's always a question mark. First year head coach.
I think their
defensive head coach.
I think their problems really came from the quarterback because Tua's not a good quarterback, and they're eating $99 million.
Yeah.
Of that salary.
They're going to be bad for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, the Saints just finally got out of cap cap purgatory.
But I don't think necessarily Miami's problem stemmed from other parts of their offense. I really think it was a Tua issue.
Yeah.
He's not a good quarterback.
No.
He's not
it's
a good
funny now
quarterback.
that
It's a weird move by Atlanta. They're both lefties.
They're both lefties, and they both get hurt.
They both get hurt. They're both lefties. It's a strange mentoring move. But
did they release Kirk Cousins?
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah,
so they're probably eating that money too.
Mm-hmm. It's just very strange to me.
Yeah,
that they would bring in a guy like that to come in and mentor.
Some franchises
to us a walking vegetable.
Yeah, some franchises just aren't run well though.
No. Atlanta Twitter, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
I saw a clip on
because Magic City Monday did get canceled, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which I'm in favor of. I mean, that's
getting it canceled.
It's a ridiculous night to do.
They weren't promoting the strippers though. It was for the wings.
No. It's just fucking weird. Man.
Have you had the wings?
No. Have you?
Have you had the strippers?
I would like to, but I don't. I haven't had them yet.
You're a fraud. That's why. But yeah, it was a good free agency. Like I think some of these moves that were made, I think the Giants actually had a sneaky. They just re-signed Micah McFadden, but they added Isaiah Likely. They added Jordan Stout.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Giants made a couple nice moves. They added somebody else too. They brought back Jermaine Illuminor on their offensive line.
Yeah, they added Jordan Stout to their roster.
Yeah,
the punter.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They did lose Wan'Dale Robinson to the Titans. Yeah,
that's all.
Alontae Taylor either went to Tennessee or Vegas. One of those two. Either Vegas or Tennessee had nice days, or both. I think some of the teams at the bottom made some moves that we could see some shakeup next year. I truly believe that next year some of the teams that were good this season will take a step back next season.
Yeah.
Like I could see Denver taking a step back. I could see Jacksonville taking a step back.
Well, Denver's in a weird situation because now do you pay Bo Nix now, or do you wait another year?
I feel like you have to, because he's made the playoffs each of his first 2 seasons. They've won a lot of games. The way that they win games is not.
But
the
who
most
knows
impressive.
what would have happened if he didn't break his ankle?
Right, right.
I think they would have lost. England.
They may have beat New England. They would have lost Seattle.
Oh yeah, but it would have been a much better Super Bowl.
Nah, I think so. I don't know. Seattle was good, man. But yeah, I think it is. I think we could see the return of some of these teams that were down. Like, I think Kansas City wins the AFC West next year. I think they're back. Holding power in that division.
You don't believe in Fernando Mendoza and the Raiders?
Raiders have made some nice moves, but I think they're still probably a year away. New coach over there. So
who knows how he's going to play out either.
Yeah.
But
we'll get into the draft in the next. When is the draft? I think we still got like a month.
A little less than a month away.
Yeah, so we've got some time. I haven't basically done really much.
I don't know much college football, so there's not much.
Yeah,
I don't really add much
of my
to
research yet.
conversation.
But I thought it was a good free agency. I thought there were some good decisions. I didn't look at any moves and was like, oh, I don't love that move for that player.
No.
I think a lot of the moves that were made were good moves. And the Eagles, like we said, I think it's important that they sign the guys that they have here, and it makes the draft just even more important.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had success in the draft, so I'm confident in what that'll look like for the Eagles.
So, going back to the Eagles, there's still nothing in on A.J. Brown. Every week, it's not something new, but people are like, we're getting closer and closer to a deal with what's going to happen. At this point, and I know we've talked about it on the show at nauseum, where are you at with this A.J. Brown situation? Do you think he stays or do you think he's gone? Because I keep hopping back and forth on both sides of the fence.
So, you get the report that it's like the Eagles are asking for potentially 2 firsts. And it's always been New England. It's always been New England. That's the team that's looking at them. Then New England is like, oh, well, we're looking at Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce stays with the Colts. So now people are like, well, the Patriots have no leverage. Like their option to, if they wanted to bring a guy, they got rid of Stephon Diggs. Is to get A.J. Brown. But then yesterday it comes out the Eagles' asking price might now be a 2026 second-round pick and a 2027 first-round pick. In my opinion, I would just keep him here, or you wait and you collect the draft capital after that June 1st deadline. I really am against this $40 million cap hit. If you trade him, I'm very against that. I think that is my biggest.
It really fucks you for the next 3 years.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's my big. I think my biggest takeaway is that I don't want this cap hit. And if he's back, if he's back and that's the decision, I would be optimistic that people can be adults and figure it out and make it work.
I think, and this was I texted you guys this yesterday. I think it's a little bit of a stretch of of what I think is going to happen, but they didn't sign Phillips.
No.
Maybe they signed Carter. Who knows? They extend Carter. I think deep down inside, maybe there's a possibility that they give AJ an extension. And this whole thing this year was not a ploy to be paid more money, but they've gotten to this point where they're like, okay, we want you to stay. If money's the only reason that he'll want to be here, I think there's a possibility that they could extend AJ Brown.
I think an extension would seem far-fetched. Would the extension be to reallocate the money to break it up over more years, and then if they make a move down the road, they're not taking as big of a cap hit?
Like it's not deferring like it is in baseball, but
if that is the case, then maybe they think about it. But
just to keep
I don't know
but there's a lot of guys they also need to pay before they pay AJ Brown.
But the thing is, if you extend AJ Brown, you're sort of pushing the money down the road. Now you're closer to putting him and Jalen in the same time period for an extension, plus having I don't know. I think it's unlikely. I think I would have to look at the financials of it, which I don't fully understand that much in any of the sports. I just know baseball.
Baseball, there's no cap, but I'm not. Yeah, but I also don't know if I'm fully on board with the Jalen extension at all.
We got to see how he plays. I mean, I wouldn't extend him now, obviously, but
no. But that's the stuff you hear about now.
Yeah.
Is Jalen worth an extension? And the correct answer is no.
Not after last season.
No.
But I think by the time he gets to the end of his deal, would I want to re-sign him? I think that's very likely that I want to re-sign him, but I don't know if I would extend him before his deal is up.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think AJ Brown's here to stay. I don't whether we
so
give
do
him an
I.
extension or not.
As more days go by where there's not a move, I believe more and more that he will be here.
Because I thought the Ravens were also going to be another team that tries to go after AJ Brown, but they just went after Crosby.
Yeah.
So I don't think they have.
Yeah, they don't have the first.
They don't have. Yeah.
So.
They don't have the money. They don't have anything to trade you. So moving on, we got the World Baseball Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Team USA is rolling. They're dealing. They beat Great Britain,
Mexico, and
all these teams.
Somebody else.
Who cares?
They got out of their group.
Who cares? This is my question. Do you really care about the World Baseball Classic?
I haven't watched.
Yeah.
I haven't watched one game.
I think it would be more interesting if the World Baseball Classic organization, whatever it's called, tuned it down to 5 or 6 teams, 4 to 6 teams.
Just make it.
There's no need for Team Israel to be in it. These are just teams that just get the shit beat out of them every round.
Yeah, and my issue is
Norway,
they make the how you can acquire the ability to be on these teams. There's different routes, and they're all easy. So it's guys are playing for Team Israel just because they're Jewish.
Yeah.
So it's never been to Israel. Parents don't have to none of that, but you just play because you're Jewish or whatever. And it doesn't work like that in the other federations of world sporting events. So it's if you're not going to make the U.S. team, I'll just go play for another country so I can get to be a part of the event.
Aaron Nola's playing for Italy.
Yeah.
And you have Vance Worley, who's 40-something years old, pitching for Britain.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense to me. I think if they put it down to 6 teams and they do a legitimate MLB-style playoff where it's not a 7-game series, but you do a 3-game series, and then I
would like that. I would like that.
I just think it would be more interesting. But there's also there's no good time for the World Baseball Classic because you have players like Skubal and Skeens and other players who are.
Well, we can get into the Skubal thing. I think
Sanchez,
that's definitely a conversation.
Who are pitching one game and they're on a limited 55 pitches.
Yeah.
And then they're gone. They go back to wherever they play. There's no good time for the World Baseball Classic because you can't do it in the middle of the season because these guys will still be on. I
think this is the best time to do it.
Can't do it at the end.
No.
These guys' arms are fried.
This is the only time.
It makes me wonder. I guess because Bryce Harper's come out and said he wants to do the Olympics. He thinks it would mean
I don't know if he's going to be on the
way
team.
More. Yeah.
After how he's playing.
Yeah.
He's like 3 for 14 with a bunch of strikeouts.
Well, he'll be on the team. I mean, I don't even think that's a negotiation just because
maybe.
It's Bryce
we'll
Harper.
have to see in 2 years if he's good.
I guess what I'm saying is, would you move the World Baseball Classic to a different time, or do you think it's the perfect time?
I think now is the perfect time because the guys that aren't playing can play in spring training. If you did it in the middle of the year, you couldn't take guys out because then the other guys wouldn't be able to play.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, it would basically just be a spring training because you'd have to call up all these guys from, AAA or whatever and tell them to go fill in for starters. I think this is the best time to do it, but I agree none of them are particularly ideal. But I guess substituting it, like, they're still playing baseball. They're just not with their spring training, their actual club. But it's just the only issue with what you're saying of doing like a 6-team thing is they don't play throughout the year. And I guess like how the Four Nations does it, those teams have consistently, I think the way that the Four Nations does it is those are just the highest represented countries and they pick those. And maybe you could pick the highest represented countries and that's how you would do it. But I feel like for soccer, who makes the World Cup? Well, you qualify.
Yeah.
You play
there's not enough time.
There's not enough time to do these like
4 years
international games.
Yeah.
So I think the way that you kind of have to do it is this like little pool play style.
I just don't think there's
just a lot of meaningless games. There's a lot of meaningless games
and there's meaningless teams.
But what I will say is that I believe that they do play who's in it? Like South Korea, Chinese Taipei, Japan. They play over in Asia. I think they're fan. Like those are crazy.
Well, this is what I would limit. I would limit the teams down to this. It would be Japan, America, Dominican Republic, Venezuela.
I think South
Korea and Mexico or Nicaragua. One of those two teams. That's 6 teams.
What about like? I don't know who's. We put the clip on TikTok. And I don't know. I almost don't know who's like good because we said last week we were talking about the teams that were good, and then I saw rankings and like none of them were near the top. So I honestly don't know who good, but we're basically saying you pick the top 6 teams on paper or by representation.
Well, I'm kind of just eliminating
players.
The teams from Europe and Team Israel. I just think they're
I mean,
teams.
You don't need Great Britain. You don't need Italy. You don't need.
I mean, I guess Canada.
You don't need Canada. No, you don't need Canada. I don't think you need Canada.
I don't know.
But I'm with you.
I just think the way that the World Baseball Classic is planned out,
I would rather the best teams.
It's too many games.
I'd rather the best teams play each other 2 to 3 times than you play the shitty teams and then you play the good. Every good team plays, once.
Yeah.
So I'd rather add the games. But another topic regarding the World Baseball Classic is I saw this on another podcast. I don't know which one it is, but just a TikTok clip. Doesn't it seem like in the World Baseball Classic they have a lot more fun, and then they get to the MLB games and it's just like, nah.
Well, you're playing for your country. It's hard. I would imagine it's hard with 162 games to be that amped up after a home run in every game. I guess I wouldn't say the stakes are hot. Well, the stakes are higher in the World Baseball Classic than a regular season game that's not being played, to get in the playoffs or something like that. You're representing your country. You're playing with the best of the best. Mm-hmm. If you're on Team USA, you made the good point earlier. Team USA seems to be the only team that doesn't care.
I wouldn't say that they don't care. I wouldn't say that they don't care, but it's like
they don't show as much enthusiasm.
They don't show as much like dude, the Dominican Republic.
They're nuts.
They look like they're
insane.
The time of their lives playing. And it's actually fun to see, like, they hit home runs, the whole team jumps out of the dugout, and then like you have people that are like, well, this is unprofessional. This isn't the game that we want to watch. Like, you sit in the dugout, then they come in the dugout, you do the whole high five ordeal. I have no issue with it. Like I always kind of thought it was fun. I always kind of thought it was cool, like in high school, like you play a big game, somebody hits a home run, your whole team comes out of the dugout. You do the little like helmet things. Like I always thought that was pretty like neat. But in the MLB, it's just become like, I guess because guys hit home runs, you're with them all the time. But it's like you get in the dugout. Okay, next play, next batter. The crowd likes it. Then everybody sits back down. I think the World Baseball Classic, as I've seen clips, I haven't watched a game, but I've seen like clips and the cool moments and stuff. Like the crowd seems super into it. It seems like it's not dominated by one side. It looks like some of these fans of other countries are traveling well to these venues, no matter where the games are. So I like the event, but I'm just more on the side of like these other countries seem to be a little more into it than the U.S.
Yeah,
and we'll see if hopefully the U.S. wins, and then we can see truly how excited they get. But I mean, when Japan beat the U.S., man,
they go nuts.
Yeah,
they go nuts.
Big deal.
Well, it goes back to my point about us winning the gold
in hockey
against Canada. Like, I'll care for about an hour if we win the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
And then it'll be back to our regular scheduled programming where we have to watch the Phillies.
I would like to
and
think
I'll be miserable for the rest of the year.
I would like to think that I will watch the championship, the gold medal, if that's what they do, medals.
Whatever it's called.
Championship.
Yeah.
I would like to think that I will watch the championship.
Who knows?
I didn't watch the last championship, but
well, we do have some breaking news coming out of the NFL. Geno Smith traded to the Jets.
Oh, wow.
For a 2026 6th-round pick.
Back with the Jets.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, back in hell for Geno.
So the Jets just keep the revolving door of shitty quarterback play. Maybe they trade into the first round, draft Ty Simpson. I think they have a bunch of first round picks though, actually. So we'll see the direction that they go in. But yeah, that was kind of our discussion with the World Baseball Classic. I like the event. The uniforms are cool.
Yeah,
I like the uniforms a lot.
Cool.
I mean, that's kind of the point that we are at. We do want to discuss the Phillies a little bit. Well, they extended Luzardo, which I liked a lot.
Yeah.
I love that move. But then they counter that. A couple days ago, you have Rob Thompson coming out and basically saying Garrett Stubbs plays every position now.
Yeah.
So
there's no clear-cut plan with this organization, as we've seen.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing over and over again. Rinse and repeat. Bring out the same guys.
Yeah.
Sign a, mid-level free agent like Adolis Garcia. Let a guy like Bader walk and do whatever he can. But Justin Crawford is playing well in spring training.
And so is Andrew Painter.
Yeah.
So there is some excitement from some of these young guys that we're going to see on the roster this year. I don't know how Aiden Miller's doing, if he's playing at all in spring training.
I don't know.
But there is some excitement. But, then you see Rob, I've made it abundantly clear. I don't know if I discussed it on the pod, but you guys know how much I kind of disagree with a lot of decisions that Rob Thompson makes, Dave Dombrowski makes. You just see Rob Thompson continue to come out and talk about, spend his time talking about Garrett Stubbs and being like, well, we might play Garrett Stubbs in the infield. Why? Yeah. He doesn't hit well. His best ability at the plate is that he bunts.
And who really knows how well he can play the infield?
Right, or the outfield.
Yeah.
It doesn't solve much of an issue. It doesn't solve.
It's just a platoon thing they want to do. If they want to platoon a guy because they find out, what's an example? Bryson Stott sucks at hitting lefties. So now we're gonna put in Garrett Stubbs.
I mean, I didn't like Marshawn was bad last year, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, every time Marshawn would catch for Nola would be terrible.
But maybe Nola's just terrible.
Nola's also just terrible.
Yeah.
So
I'll look forward to seeing Crawford play. I look forward to seeing Painter play. Hopefully, I like Kyle Schwarber. Hopefully he has another great season. He's doing pretty good at the World Baseball Classic. Harper is not doing good at the World Baseball Classic. Garcia could bring some pop, bring some juice to the stadium. But I love going to the games, but I just can't say right now I'm going to be watching much.
I'll be watching. I always come on here and I'm like, I'm just going to look unreal. Now we're getting closer and closer to the season. There's days where I'm doing nothing. I'm going to be watching the games, whether it's at 1 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. Will I care as much about a loss? Probably not.
I never get mad.
It's hard.
I never get mad when they lose.
There's 100. I find myself getting more angry at losses for the Phillies than I do the Eagles, which is weird because there's 162 games.
No way.
There's 17 Eagles games. That's just how I am personally, because I feel like it's easy to bounce back after a loss. When you're in the NFL, you have a whole entire week until your next game.
The Phillies lose, and it's like
it seems like a downward spiral
Phillies lose, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Somebody will pitch tomorrow. Maybe they'll win. Maybe they won't.
It's hard to get excited when it's just the same thing every year.
Yeah.
Nothing new. Nothing's worse. It's just the same thing.
Yeah. Well, we criticize the Phillies. The media criticized Russell Westbrook this week.
Yeah.
So we're not going to specifically speak on that. If you've seen the clip, basically it's like Russ is kind of – the Kings are bad.
Worst team in the league.
Yeah, the Kings were, I guess, on paper going into the season because, they still had Levine. They still had DeRozan. They had Sabonis. I guess on paper they should have been better this year, and they've been bad. So basically, in this interview, Russell Westbrook is like, "Tell me what we've done wrong." Like he's like, I've got young guys.
He challenges the reporter.
Yeah, he
speaks his mind, and the reporter, I forget his name. The reporter has been very outspoken in all the articles he's written. How the Kings are the worst team in the league. Gives his opinion.
They don't do a lot right.
They don't do anything
guys
correct.
Don't play.
Yeah.
And what Russ is kind of saying as a veteran leader, and I did have respect for the way that he responded was, there are young guys in the league being on a bad team that don't understand. Like, if you get drafted to the NBA, for the most part, like, you've done a lot of winning in your career. Yeah. Probably in college you were a winning player.
Unless you're AJ DeBanza.
Well, they're not even bad though. They were just ranked. I mean, they're probably ranked this week, like high 20s. You're probably a winning player, and now you get to the league, and some people got to lose. People have got to be bad. And Russ was kind of defending his young guys, saying, you're criticizing these young players who were not supposed to be in the role that they're in, but now, guys have been hurt, guys have not played, guys are resting, and he admits in the thing, he's like, we're bad. He's like, we're not good. But, people are not saying it to them, but then are writing these articles, and these kids read them. But it kind of brings our question of how should guys handle the media versus player relationship? How should players handle the media, and how should the media handle players?
I think both should treat each other with, respect.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not criticizing Russell Westbrook. He wasn't nasty about it. Asking the reporter, like, how do you feel?
He was like, no, he kept saying, like, no, tell me more.
I think the reporter, I think his emotions got the best of him. I think he was very timid.
I think he got scared.
I think he was genuinely afraid of what to actually say, which I think
it's cowardly.
Cowardly. You should fault the reporter for that. I also don't like situations where, players won't talk to reporters. They don't like negative things said about them. But this is what you sign up for.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you get paid for, especially if you're a star like Russell Westbrook. There's no reason to be an asshole to just a beat reporter who's asking you questions. Now, Porter should have said his mind. He should have said what he thought about the team. I mean, his voice was literally shaking in the video. I mean,
and I think somebody comes to like
cry. Someone comes to his aid. Yeah. Someone comes to his aid, and they're like, basically, gives it straightforward to Russ. Yeah, you guys aren't good. And Russ responds with, "Yeah, I know that, but what's not good about us?" And nobody's
giving him.
No one's giving
examples.
a specific
They're just saying
example.
They're bad. But then when they go to write these articles, then they do give specific examples.
It's just, I don't know, because I'm not a reporter. I mean, I feel like if I was, I would ask the straightforward questions.
Yeah.
Not like the example, what was it? The college basketball example you gave me. How do you get out rebounded by?
Oh, yeah. I gave the
whatever.
There's a lot of those are reporters that ask kind of dumb questions. And I said, the Torian Prince interview in March Madness where he's like, well, how does Yale out rebound Baylor? And he's just like, they went up,
they grabbed the ball with 2 hands. Yeah.
That's a rebound, and they got more of those than Baylor did. It's like, if you're going, anyone could be a reporter, and I could go in. Your record when you wear your blue jerseys is not good. Why'd you wear the blue jerseys tonight? It's a dumbass question.
Yeah.
But, and we see it because the media in Philly is so prevalent. Like, take the article that comes out about Embiid over the summer, and then it brings back the whole Marcus Hayes situation. Keith Pompey gets involved to come to Marcus Hayes' aid. It just creates a consistent toxic environment with players that, listen, Joel early in his career in front of the media was not great. He would give some answers, but then he would do, They get up 3-1 in a series. He gives an answer of like, we're not going to blow a 3-1 lead like the Warriors.
Yeah.
Warriors go on to win the championship that year. He's shooting his shot at Rihanna his first season. He's tweeting at Jalen Rose like about the 81-point game that like in the media's eyes he wasn't great. But then the whole, situation pops up and it puts a light on the fact that this guy isn't good in the media after years of him kind of cleansing himself in their eyes. And then it's like he slaps a guy, and now you're like, well, the media's never going to like him.
Yeah.
And the whole, the media who votes in the MVP, they always were kind of against him because they felt like he just barely got over the games limit to give himself an MVP. Like he wanted to do it to win the MVP. That's the reason he was playing. But if the MVP never existed, he wouldn't have played over 65 games.
I think ultimately from this situation, I take the side of the media because they're doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing. There's no reason someone should be treated like shit. Now, the Marcus Hayes thing was
a different story.
You don't comment about the
family,
death and
family. Yeah.
Right. I don't think it gives players an excuse. And I'll go back to the money thing. Yes, these players they have emotion. They're human beings. You are held at a standard as an athlete like this to answer to the media no matter what the question is. Now, you can just say no comment, but that doesn't set a nice example either, because then you're a fucking asshole.
Take Marshawn Lynch.
Exactly.
He got up there.
Alshon Jeffrey. It's the same example.
You don't have to give the
but
best
talk
answer,
to the media.
But get up there.
Exactly.
Because at least if you don't talk to the media, if you talk to the media and you give bad answers, like the internet's just gonna meme it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do anything like to you. The Alshon Jeffrey interview, where he's like, I wouldn't do any of this.
We could have came a day later.
Now, because he's in glasses and a beanie, it's hilarious. It's a hilarious video. Marshawn Lynch, I'm just here so I don't get fined. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I am with you. AJ Brown did it a lot this season, ducking the media.
It's annoying. I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan.
It's immature.
Yeah.
It's immature. And as an athlete, you're expected to answer not just the questions of the media. The fans are asking the same question. We don't have the chance, me and you, to go and ask AJ Brown, hey, what the fuck's going on?
Mm-hmm.
The media does that for us. We look to the media, and if you're ducking the reporters and you're not answering questions, we're not gonna like you as much.
Yeah. And the public doesn't get, their questions.
Yeah.
The public has questions, they don't get answered.
Yeah.
But it is it's a tough relationship, and I think I would also say that I'm on the side of the media, but I do think the media needs to do a better job of asking thorough,
thought-provoking questions.
And considerate questions.
The UFC is a prime example. I mean, the reporters for the UFC are literal retards. They're idiots. They don't. I mean, not a single person in that post-fight presser with Dana White asked who pulled out of the fight, who pulled out of the White House card. Nobody asked.
Well, I mean,
nobody.
We could.
I mean, why is that? It's one thing if you ask Dana White, hey, who pulled out of the card, and he's like, I'm not answering that right now. That's another thing, because Dana White's you're asking the question you want to know, and he's not giving you an answer. Nobody asked.
Mm-hmm.
And now we find out through Twitter.
Yeah.
John Jones is going at Dana White because Dana White basically came out in the press conference and was like, John Jones is not a part of this. I repeatedly told his managers and all that he's not going to be fighting on the card.
And I think Dana White usually gives good answers.
He made the right decision regarding the Jones thing. Jones retired. He's repeatedly complained after his career, can't do this. I'm hurt. My hips are fucked. Then we come to find out that it was Islam who pulled out of the fight. Ilya Taporia tweeted this morning just basically going at Islam and his team and Khabib and stuff like that, and took a shot at Gaethje and was like, you're going to die. You're going to
lose. Yeah.
You're going to lose. You're going to wake up. You're not even going to know what happened. It'll be quick. You're not going to be humiliated. The UFC media is probably the worst out of every sport, I would say. Because they banned Ariel Helwani.
Yeah.
3 years ago. 4 years ago, who is the biggest, if not one of the best reporters in sports.
Yeah.
So, independently speaking. So, I don't know. I think the media gets a bad rap, and I know we're on different sides of the spectrum. You give a lot of heat and flack to the Philly media, but I think when you're in a hot location like Philadelphia or New York, I mean, New York is just as bad. WFAN is terrible. I don't think a lot of the radio stations, they're doing their job. You could say it's clickbait, whatever.
That's
engagement bait.
They say
they're doing their job.
They say the most outrageous stuff sometimes because they need the engagement. Because there's no way, like, I'll say it, and we don't want to. We are mostly a Philly sports and a sports podcast. So I don't want to bash, and we're relatively small right now. We are small right now, so I don't want to bash anybody.
We're nobodies.
But Elliott Shore-Parks, some of the stuff that he puts out there, there's no way you can watch and genuinely leave thinking that. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah. I mean, go back. Well, now they're digging up old articles that Elliott Shore-Parks wrote about Deshaun Jackson with his gang involvement, and Elliott Shore-Parks recently came out and be like, "Well, the right thing to do would be to trade AJ Brown. He's giving you this, that, this, and that to the city. Like that's
you're
just
the only
another
one that thinks that.
That's another ridiculous.
But for him, when he tweets that stuff, those are his most engaged tweets.
Yeah.
So that's why you do it.
Yeah.
But, like I don't, put out less content, but it's more meaningful than just pumping out content just because you feel like you need it.
Yeah.
I think that would be my kind of final stance on that.
At the end of the day, I'm on the reporter's side. But
I think I am too.
There's really bad reporters.
I think there's a little bit of I think there's more give and take that is needed from the players. But I think there's also some give and take that's always required at other reporters from both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I got a final question. I was just thinking about this the other day, very, very randomly. And hear me out on this. How would you feel if NCAA basketball and NCAA football got rid of the top 25? Now there's I shouldn't have paused because there's a reason to this when I was thinking in my head. We all love the March Madness bracket reveal. It's fun. You get to see some cool matchups. You get to know where your team is, who, they might be able to play in the bracket. The whole March Madness. It's the best tournament, in my opinion, maybe outside of the World Cup. Yeah. It's my favorite tournament-style playoff. It's awesome. It's more when I thought about it from a football aspect of, I think that the college football playoff reveal is the most anticlimactic thing. And, this year we got the cool, is Notre Dame in? Is Miami in? That was, them putting Miami in. It was like, oh, really? But at the end of the day, a lot of people were like, Miami's going to be in. It wasn't like they pulled out, in the NCAA tournament, if you're right on the bubble, you're sitting there with your ass puckered, being like, shit, is my team going to get in? For the most part, if your team has a shot or doesn't. There's only 14 teams out of the 12 that even have a real shot. So the reason I said do away with the rankings is at the end of the day, that top 25 ranking in football, what the big games are. Mm-hmm. If a team is 7-1 and a team is 8-0 in the SEC, it's a big game. You don't need the number next to the name to be like, oh, that's a big game. But if you did away with the whole ranking thing and you didn't know who the top team was in the eyes, then that 12-team playoff would actually be super interesting when they revealed it because you would have no clue. If Georgia's the number one team going into the conference championship weekend and they win, they're still going to be the number one team. But if you don't know if Georgia's number one in the eyes of the committee and then they win, you're like, well, damn, I know we're going to be in the field, but I don't know.
So you don't want the top 25 revealed to the public, is what you're saying.
I don't want
to be a ranking system.
Does there though?
Yeah.
How? For what reason though?
Seeding.
Seeding in what?
In the playoffs.
No, I'm saying at the end, you get one seeding reveal all year. It's the playoff. So they seed for the playoffs. But I'm saying how every week they come, they do a preseason AP top 25.
Yeah.
And then eventually they start doing the college football playoff top 25. You just do away with that. Because it doesn't matter. The number next to the name doesn't matter for who makes the conference championship. It doesn't matter for what's considered a big game. Georgia, Alabama, if they're both undefeated, we know it's a big game. What does there being a number next to their name mean? But I think it would make the reveal that much, much, much better because you really don't know where your team's going to be.
I mean, I guess I see what you mean, but
are you kind of just it doesn't matter?
I don't think it really makes a difference.
I think it would I was just thinking about how the selection show for March Madness and and you could do the same thing in college basketball. At the end of the day, putting a number next to a name, it really doesn't matter. Your resume is going to be your resume. Now, I do think in college basketball, because they use the net rankings, you do need to have the net, Ken Pom, Evan Maya, all that stuff. But I think for football, like, you could genuinely do away with the rankings. The college football playoff reveal has no pop to it. There's nothing about it that's cool, because first of all, the conference championship champions are still going to get in. So, but right now, the way that it is, those conference championships, you know who the top 4 seeds are going to be, just because they already have a ranking next to their name, and if they win, they're going to stay there. Somebody needs to lose for them to move up or down.
Yeah, but I still think people would have,
or go back to like 4 teams.
I think,
and then some teams are still out.
Well, that's what I would want to do, but that's never going to happen. I think people would still have the idea of who's going to be in the college football playoff, even without the rankings next to their names.
No, but I think from like the teams that don't win the conference championship, you don't know if the committee views you, like, you could say we could be in the playoff, but the committee, who doesn't release the committee can make the rankings every week. I just wouldn't put it to the public, because the committee can have the rank. So you could say, I think that right now we're one of the top 12 teams. We should be in the playoff, but the committee could have you at number 18.
Yeah.
But the public doesn't know that.
Know.
So when the public finally does get that 12-team official playoff bracket, you actually have to tune in, being like, with the same thing as March Madness of like, well, shit, like, are we in or are we not? I don't know. I was just thinking about it, and I've always thought that being ranked was substantial, but then I was like, it really isn't. The big games are going to be the big games anyway. Yeah. Like, shit, Alabama and Auburn could suck in football. The Iron Bowl would still be a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Red River Bowl or whatever it's called.
Is it better when they're both ranked? Yes, but does it matter? No.
No.
I just think the whole ranking throughout the regular season every week, putting out Matt Painter from Purdue said it, like, being preseason number 1, like, just nothing. Because, we brought back a couple guys from last year and we got a nice transfer. We haven't played. The group could suck.
Texas was ranked 1.
Right, and then they lost. They finished the year strong. They're going to be ranked high again this year. But you never know until these new, because as much as you get the number 1 transfer out of the portal, they could have been great at their last school. They might not be as good at the new school.
It's all about the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think rankings don't mean that much. But I think the reveals at the end of the year, because the college football playoff is cool, the NCAA tournament for March Madness, it's cool. I think it would be that much better if you didn't know where your team was ranked. It was a major mystery going in. Like, are we going to be a 1 seed? Are we going to be a 4 seed? Maybe the committee, we think we're going to be a 5. The committee has us as an 8 seed. You don't know.
I don't know. I also think that the committee makes some questionable decisions.
Also, I don't like that ESPN builds up like, tune in 8:30, college football playoff reveal. And it's like, there's 5 weeks left in the season.
Yeah.
Who cares?
No. I mean, I just think the college football playoff as a whole is.
Yeah,
I would cut it to 8 teams. I think it's a shit product.
I'd cut it to 8 teams.
I would go back to 4.
Yeah, I think they got scared after, Florida State wins the ACC, a power conference, undefeated, and they don't get in. I think it scared them.
Well, they wouldn't.
They were already going. They were already making the decision to move to 12 teams. I think.
But they would have gotten smacked.
Yeah.
They would have gotten killed.
Yeah, they did.
The NCAA knew that, and then the next year they were terrible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, the 14 playoffs means the best 4 teams in college football, and you're obviously going to get the best product. I mean, the TCU championship game against Georgia was fucking god awful, but
I think they
played in the first round. They played
Michigan.
It was a great game.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah.
And Ohio State Georgia that year was a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I think what concerns them is that some of these top teams weren't getting into the playoffs, and they were playing in these, like, quote unquote New Year's 6 bowl games, is what they used to be referred to, and guys weren't playing. So when guys weren't playing, they were like, well, we have high quality players in these teams, but they're just sitting out. If you put them in the college football playoff, they're going to play. I think that was definitely part of it. Once guys started sitting out bowl games, I mean, it really is a major problem. Like,
it started with Fournette.
Like, we talk about NIL, and maybe next week we'll talk about, Trump did a whole thing on NIL, like a whole sit down. I have not educated myself on it. much. I saw a couple quotes.
I have no idea.
But that could be something that we talk about because we've had NIL conversations on here before. But I think the sitting out of bowl games and stuff is like that's actually an unsolvable problem.
Well, I don't think it's unsolvable. That these guys are getting paid now, so maybe you add fines.
I think it's just unsolvable because if a guy really wants to sit out, they will either just enter the transfer portal early and then they don't have to play, or B, they're just like, I'm declaring for the. You can't make anybody play. You can kick them off the team.
They'll just transfer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can start building into clauses like contracts. I guess you could put clauses in that are like, you have to finish the season, or you're a portion. You can't say your whole contract isn't going to get paid, but you could say, or maybe you could, but you could say portion of it isn't going to get paid if you don't play the extent of the season, including a bowl game.
Well, Colorado's doing that now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing it.
They have a whole bunch of rules.
If you're late to practice,
yeah.
it's like
Deion might not be a good coach, but it seems like he's got the best grasp on this whole.
If these kids are going to get paid big grown-up money, you treat them like adults.
Yeah, I agree, but I think it's
treat them like adults. And I'm also of the belief that I believe in players' rights, like the Players Association. I think you get a better product and a better league when
you have that.
The owners are in control, and
when the owners are in control.
Yeah, when the top of the top is in control, not the players.
Owners in the freaking Epstein files.
Well, I like to separate the person from the product. Kanye's not a good guy.
You like his music?
I like his music. Yeah.
This is just a ploy to get Josh Harris to sell the team.
Yeah.
Please, dude, sell the team.
I saw a crazy theory that he wanted to deduct the tax to save as much money for a potential lawyer. If he gets roped, it's not a crazy thing. It's not a crazy thing.
Dude, I gotta, at some point, I gotta start understanding I just turned my mic off. I don't know. We're almost done. I gotta start learning like the legal side of contract. Well, I'm in a class for it, but each league has different rules. I gotta educate myself on what each of those individually are. Maybe not hockey, but
no, hockey's the same way. There's a cap and stuff like that.
It's just baseball is the tough.
Jalen Rose came out and said maybe the dumbest thing ever.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
You've never noticed black athletes, all the black dominant sports. There's a salary cap, dude.
Why do you got to put the accent?
Well, because that's what he sounds like.
I don't know what he sounds.
It was dumb. And then everyone's like, well, the NHL has a salary cap. Soccer, I mean, it's just whoever.
Wait. Hold on. Wouldn't that prove his point though?
No, he's saying that black dominant sports all have a salary cap.
Oh, and hockey's not.
And hockey is not a black dominant sport.
Yeah.
And also leagues like tennis, they play for prize money.
Yeah.
Golf is for prize money.
Soccer, there's
NASCAR is also for prize money.
Soccer, it's how much money there's no cap in soccer.
Yeah. There's plenty of black athletes in the MLB.
Yeah, I think it's just a point of like.
It was a dumb point.
It was a dumb point.
It was dumb. It was dumb.
What I have just learned when I read the caption of something and it's stupid, I don't even watch.
I watch it just because I find myself I enjoy being angry at what I watch.
I don't. I don't.
I like it. I'm of the belief that hate fuels your life. There's got to be some hate.
I just can't. I can't be consumed in like content that is so irrelevant because it's like stupid. So I just don't watch.
Well, it's so stupid. It's funny.
I guess.
And then I find myself getting angry at it.
I guess.
But
yeah,
I guess it's gonna conclude the.
Yeah. Is that shirt part of the rotation now?
It's always been part of the rotation. Where the fuck have you been?
It has
Metallica.
Been. You got a new shirt, right?
I did get a new shirt. It's a PacSun Slipknot shirt. Not really a summer shirt though, to be honest. It's a very thick material.
So is Knights going to be back in the rotation this summer?
Knights has a hole in the armpit.
So it's retired?
When I play basketball in it, it's not going to be retired, but I can't wear that.
It's not going to the It's not going to the rafters quite yet.
Tell us about the shorts you're wearing.
These are from Ryoko Rain. Got these for about.
You look like a weather forecast. You
got these
like
on sale.
Weather
$55.
radar.
I got the the Phillies quarter zip on, beater, white tee, some Nikes. Letting the Getting tan, if you couldn't tell. Yeah. How about your shoes?
I got the Nike, the Zoom X's. So that's about it. They smell like beer and probably
cheese.
Piss. So.
Okay. This guy wears his hoop shoes to the club so he can practice his post fade.
I do.
Yeah. You never. He says you never know when you might have to bust out and do a game.
Yeah.
You also wear shorts under your.
I don't tell my secrets.
Okay. That'll conclude this week's episode. We'll be posting on TikTok now. Follow Backyard Brawl on TikTok, Backyard Brawl on Twitter. We'll put those in the description for this video. We posted like 3 clips last week. Hopefully we can get 3 or 4 clips out this week from this video, but tap in on there. The TikTok's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But thank you for tuning in. Peace.